I already did the cut. Just you got to do it right. You got to be expressive with the forward movement. We're wasting film.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Repressed Humor Issues.
We're just two guys with two mics with one excuse to ignore our spouses.
And I'm Ryan.
And I'm Dan.
We're glad to be here.
Yeah, you should be glad to be here after the plane rides that you had.
Yeah, that was a rough bit. We had a recent kind of quick turn travel thing that lasted not even 24 hours.
It was close.
Close, yeah, I guess it was close.
That walk in the cold to get pizza didn't help with the how long it took thing.
You're the one that decided to leave his jacket back in the room.
It was supposed to be 50 degrees, and I came for where it was -10.
I thought you would have been a little more hardened, but you were soft.
Oh no, I'm a cold wuss now. I know it. I've lost
the
Canadian
You're there.
spirit.
You've gone over the hump.
Yeah, but
so next up's Arizona for you.
Oh no, I'm going all the way to a beach in Belize and staying there.
Ooh, that sounds nice, actually.
Yeah, see, I got plans.
Yeah.
What was wrong with that?
The plans.
You had some travel issues.
Well, I think it was the way down took some time. I mean, you left 3 hours after me and still made it before me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't have a connecting flight, but that wasn't what made you that much later.
No, I mean, no, I was delayed leaving as well.
Yeah.
But that didn't impact anything, I guess, for the other connecting flight. Yeah, because why was I so delayed now?
But that's nothing compared to them really not wanting to give you a ticket on the way back.
Oh, now you're right. So, yeah. Okay, I'm with you now. So I land in New York. I had to go to JFK and connect and dart over to my gate. And my ticket says one flight. But then my phone is receiving text messages. And I do digital tickets so no one drags me through the mud. I did just anyway. My phone is getting text messages from Delta saying your flight is now at this gate. And I'm like, that's not the same fucking flight number. What's going on? So I go up to the agent at the gate and I'm like, hey, am I on this flight at 3:00? Yeah, you're on this flight. I'm like, then why am I getting these texts for a different flight? He's like, I don't know. Because they thought you were maybe going to be late, so they just put you on 2 flights. And I was like, okay. So this persists where I'm getting delayed on my non-existent flight for an entire additional day. Those poor people that were just trying to get back to North Carolina from New York, they were for sure stranded at least an additional day. And I know this because of the texts and the emails that I got from Delta saying, we're so sorry your flight's been canceled. We looked for other flights for you, and there's nothing for the next 24 hours.
You did get food vouchers, though. Don't forget to mention the food vouchers.
That's what it was next. It was like, I forgot to use them, by the way. But I was so pressed to get to the airport on the way home. It was ridiculous. Anyway, but yeah, I got 2 food vouchers for $12 a piece just for being on the wrong flight. So needless to say, and we both had to travel on Delta home the day the Toronto flight flipped upside down.
The Toronto Delta flight.
The Toronto Delta flight.
In a CRJ aircraft.
Yeah. We had very similar aircrafts. It was insane.
Yes, so, it was not good.
It was a surreal travel day, I would say that.
But what was interesting for me was I had no travel woes. I made it there. I made it back. Wasn't a bumpy ride. I've absolutely perfected the look you have to give when you tell them that you want a whole can of soda with no cup and no ice. I've perfected that look so they never even bother asking anymore.
Oh, do tell.
Oh, it's just a simple glare. You don't smile, you don't frown. You just look at them and say, I want a Coke, no ice, no glass,
Hmm.
and stare directly in their eyes. And there's that moment where they realize he's not backing down from this. So if I don't give him the whole can, this becomes an incident. And then we're going to have to land the plane somewhere where we don't want to land. So I'm just giving him his fucking Coke.
So I didn't tell you this. On the way home, oddly enough, I had to connect in Detroit to go back. And I would normally book direct, but all the directs were sold out. And I'm so loyal to Delta, I am willing to connect, and not fly American. Um, One of my buddies was on the Detroit to DC flight. And I was like, oh, okay. Like sitting 2 rows in front of me, and that was it. Same side. And so, like, we did like the toast over the seats or whatever, the total douchebag move. But it was hilarious because every flight attendant was gay on the flight. And I know this because one of them, the one that is going to be part of the story, who I won't name, was wearing the highest heels while still dressed like a man.
Did you call him Yolanda?
Oh, didn't have to. I think he introduced himself as like courgette or something. I don't know. But
Courgette. Wow, that's interesting.
it's the zucchini in England. Um, but but anyway, he's like pushing the cart around to serve us drinks or whatever, and I was in Delta Comfort, so I get like one free drink. And he was like, "And what can I get for you?" And that's how he said it. And I go, I'll take a wine. It's been a long day. Do you want rosé or do you want white wine? I was like, I'll take a red. He's like, not an option. I only gave you two. I'm just like, I'll take the white wine, I guess. Thanks. Thanks so much. It's like, I am not going to match your gay. It's impossible. You have high
Oh, you could
heels.
have.
I was not in the mental state to do anything like that. Like, and it's so funny because my buddy like kind of looks back and he just goes, "What the fuck?" Like that was a lot.
So realize that now that you've talked about Detroit and North Carolina, we'd have to talk about other places you hate to be. Because you'll have heard by now, we're recording this before it's released, but you'll have heard by now that Ryan does not really have an affinity for Delaware, even though we're trying to get them as a sponsor. And then what
Huh.
did you tell me about Maryland the other day? About their drivers?
Oh, okay. Not where I thought you were going to go with that. Yeah, fuck
Well, is there
Maryland
something
drivers.
else about Maryland that you want to hate?
I'll save that for another day. Maryland drivers are not only statistically proven to be some of the worst drivers in the US, but we have a thing amongst our friends, my spouse, the dog knows. If you see a Maryland plate, just let them go because they are on their way to kill someone. Not that they're all like crime ridden people or anything like that. They just don't know how to drive. They don't know how to use the brakes. They don't know what stop signs or stop lights are, and they will cuss you out if they perceive you to be in the wrong, which is anything that remotely inconveniences their day. So watch out for all Maryland plates and just know your body will get smacked by their car.
Okay, so I told you about my experience in Maryland, which
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
I was in
You had good
downtown,
seafood.
very good seafood, but I was in downtown Baltimore for an engagement with a customer, and that night I heard 5 separate shootings. I mean, when
Damn.
you say they're out to kill somebody, but it may not be, but it's because they don't know how to drive. Well, they do know how to shoot, so you have to be a little bit careful of that. But the weirdest part was the person that was with me on that engagement, different hotel room. I don't want to get in trouble for anything like
Mm,
that, but different
mm.
hotel room. Um, she heard somebody doing an exorcism in the room next to her. And this is a big brand name hotel. And she said, like, she did not sleep that night because she wasn't sure if somebody wasn't going to come through the wall with the amount of noise they're making doing this exorcism in the hotel.
It's kind of interesting, like if you think about like the concept of hotels and like really zoom out on it. It's a strange premise that we've all just accepted.
Okay, explain why it's strange when Airbnb and those kinds of things exist.
I think Airbnb is the next level of weird, right?
Right.
Like, so, with hotels, we're just okay with sleeping next to strangers, much like living in an apartment, but we're paying for just a few nights, full well knowing that somebody has been in that exact same bed not but a few hours before you.
Okay.
You
So I think it's less weird than going over to somebody's house, sleeping in a bed that they've prepped just for you, but having to use their soap,
Oh,
having
yeah,
to
that's
use
what I'm
their
saying, like,
shampoo, having
Airbnb
to
is
use.
the next layer of weird from
I think
hotel.
I think staying at somebody's house that you know that they're in the house with you is much weirder, to be perfectly
Like,
honest with you.
that's what I'm saying, it's the next layer of weird. It's like if
But
there's a tiered structure of weird, it's like, here's hotel, here's Airbnb, here's cruise.
yeah, but I still say staying with in-laws is worse than an Airbnb because at least an Airbnb there's nobody else there. But
Oh.
in a when you don't stay at a hotel, when you're forced to stay in somebody's house, you've got to use their stuff. Okay.
So the way you were qualifying that, it didn't sound like you meant the Airbnb, not the relatives.
I'm talking the relatives having to stay with them is the
I agree.
weirdest of all.
I think that's
Because
absolutely the weirdest because also, like, what if, like, you have a weird relative and you just don't know they're weird, but they're, like, outside your bedroom, like, listening to you sleep or some bullshit like that?
I just don't like the fact that I can't go to bed when I want to go to bed because there's that expectation that you're going to stay up and entertain these people because you're staying in their house.
Oh, we are
Yeah.
cut from a different cloth.
Oh, no, 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 no. I will feign illness to go to bed when I'm at somebody's house that
Okay, okay,
I
yeah, I was like, I have no qualms about, like, excusing myself.
yeah, I have qualms about it. I make excuses. It's oh, it was a very long drive and my head hurts, or did that dinner taste funny, or wow, I think I got abducted by aliens. I have to lie down now. I mean,
Right,
I'll use any excuse to get
yeah,
out of it.
excuse me, I need to go anal probe my wife. Um, no, haven't used that
Uh,
one?
wow. Um, I have to ask my wife if I can use that one. That might work.
Uh,
So
I did
so
wanna go back to
anyways.
the North Carolina trip for a second.
Okay, we're going back into the past here.
Yeah, oh, we had pizza the first night.
No, we didn't have pizza.
I
We had
agree.
sort of pizza.
I agree. It was all
Yeah.
sort of pizza because we didn't have a lot of options because Sunday night in North Carolina, and not too big of a city, yields very few options that are open past what, 8 o'clock, I think it was?
Yeah, we were at there by like 7:30. It was 8 o'clock by the time we finally got to eat it
Yeah.
because we didn't realize that we weren't going to be able to eat it there.
Right, yeah, it didn't present itself on Google as just a front for a pseudo pizza shop. But we had I mean, we ordered what, a pepperoni of some sort?
Yep. It was a
And
pepperoni mania.
yeah, that's right, that's right. Uh, but it was made with sweet tomatoes.
You will not give up on the sweet tomatoes.
It was fucking weird.
Would
It's
you rather
fucking
have a
weird.
marinara?
No, just give me normal pizza sauce.
Okay, but here's the thing. The dough wasn't that great.
No,
The
no, no.
ch-
There
the
they had too
cheese
much
was
slop.
thin. The cheese was thin. It was greasy. The pepperoni was not really all that great. Um,
Yeah.
and you're worried about the fact that it had sweet tomatoes.
Because that was the first thing you taste. It overwhelmed any kind of pepperoni salt.
I'm
flavor.
glad it did because I don't want to know what the rest of it tasted like.
I can't. I just that was a for me.
Do you
I don't
remember?
know.
I pulled my first piece out and I pulled it out and all the toppings slipped off of it like
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
weren't
You
even
also had like
there.
three pieces that stuck together.
Yeah, well, that was one piece, but one of the pieces out of that, the whole thing just piled in a little pile of slop. And that's before we had eaten anything. So we didn't know what we were getting into at this moment. And I'm already seeing this festering pile of cheese and pepperoni. And I tried to spread it back over my slice and failed miserably because, it's a living organism at that point.
Well, it just, I mean, I don't know. I guess I have a certain expectation of pizza, and I have a pretty large threshold for pain when it comes to pizza. But I, and I'm not a pineapple pizza person. Like, sure, I'll eat it to be polite, but I'm never going to seek it out.
Yeah.
But now knowing that there's sweet tomato sauce, no.
Well, so we're going to move on from this because you mentioned pain and you know where I'm going to go with this.
Oh,
Oh,
the hand,
well,
right?
you're not supposed to give it away, but
Oh,
let's
well,
put it
that's
this way.
fine.
Last week when I played hockey, afterwards, my hand hurt a little bit and it hurt in a weird spot on top. And it didn't feel right, but okay, it got a little bit better. It hurt. I'd lift stuff. It wouldn't work well, but I could live with it. We go to the customer that we're going to visit, and the third guy in shakes my hand. And I looked at Ryan afterwards and said, he broke my hand. Okay. And like, I was scared at that moment to shake anybody else's hand because I was worried what was going to happen because
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
my
when we were saying goodbye, you kind of gingerly gave your hand to me, like shake, and you're like, just remember a hand. And I was like, "Oh, that's right."
but remember the second time he shook my hand, you heard the pop.
Yeah, because I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like I don't know how he didn't realize that he just crushed my hand.
But
Okay,
it's so
now
strange because like he didn't torque my hand. Like
oh, he
that's
just reefed on my. Now it could be I was already sensitive to it because it already had a little bit of problems, and you have to remember this is the hand that the massage therapist decided to torture me on. So I've had a little bit of problems with it, but he literally just reefed on my hand, and that popping noise. It wasn't a crunch.
no, it
It
was a
was a it
pop.
was a
It was a
pop.
pop.
And I
Yeah.
don't know how he didn't hear it to say, oh, pull in. He kept on shaking my hand. And I'm trying not to make faces, but I am ready to, just fall down and get into the fetal position and start crying. My hand hurts so bad. Now, fast forward to the hockey this week. I go to pick up my hockey bag, to put it in the back of our truck, and my hand pops again. And suddenly my hand is okay. So
But
somehow, from playing hockey and my hand hurting a little bit to not being able to pick stuff up properly with it for about a week to a guy crushing my hand to the point that I couldn't use it, I go to pick up my hockey bag and suddenly my hand is fine. I can't
so
explain it.
I'm glad you're better.
Yes.
Much as that pains me to say, I'm glad you're
Yeah.
better.
Well, I mean, hockey has hit home this week. I'm not sure if you watched, but I think we talked about this.
The
The Four
Canada
Nations
lost.
face off. When in the first 9 seconds of the hockey game, there were three fights, and I still judge the Canada won two of those. As we are taping this, they are actually playing the final of that Canada versus the US because they ended up
Oh,
1-2 in round robin. So
hmm.
I'm missing that by taping this right at this moment. But unlike some people, I don't just ditch for random little events that, oh, are you looking for somebody else to blame? Is that
What
what you're
event?
doing?
I'm curious what event you're gonna say.
Oh, you've ditched me for lots of events on taping nights. Oh, we're in Fredericksburg and I'm tired. We're taking the train
I was
home and
tired.
I don't like the train because there's people on it.
From New York?
No, you took I don't know where you take the
That was
train
New
from home
York.
every
That was New
time, but
York.
many times you've canned out on me because you just say, "Oh, I have to go watch RuPaul eat stew and stuff like that.
That's only on Fridays.
I mean, come on.
And we did
There's
not watch RuPaul eat stew, to be clear. Now I might pay to watch that, but I did see him on his book tour, but he ate no stew. Uh
yeah, okay, that sounded like you said he ain't no stew. Just so you're aware.
oh yeah, it did sound
Like
like
is
that.
his real name Stew, or is there a stew that you could compare him to?
Oh, like I
He
said,
ain't
he
no
ain't no
stew.
stew. Oh, that's
Yes.
funny. We're gonna just let that ride.
Wow, just call out the jokes is funny now.
I have a
Anyways,
question to change a bit, and I have a. Do you have an instant pot?
my wife has an instant pot that I have never used.
Okay, so I'm kind of late to the instant pot game, if you will, but I make a great pork loin using that, and I'm a little out of practice. It's been a bit, so it's
Does this
fine.
have to do with your plumbing issues this morning?
No, I didn't even want to talk about that
Okay, okay, we'll
because that
go
was
to that
because
later.
that was expensive.
I will pick that scab later.
Oh, such a dick. Um, God. Anyway, so making this pork loin last night, and you after it's done with the pressure cooking, you let it rest for a certain period of time and then release the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so I go to release the pressure button, and I call this instant pot splooge.
Ah, that's why you're splooged
Yeah.
today.
So, and this sucked too. I press it. It first sputters all over the wall, the broth from the inside. It wasn't even just water, it was the broth from the inside. Then the little bobber or whatever the fuck goes, I'm going to hit you, and leans
Ooh.
in right in the face. And it's hot. It's not scalding, thank God, but it's hot. And that just, no, and my husband was like off in another room, so he didn't get to see it. But it's like I just had like little freckles of the broth all over my face because the instant pot came all over my face when I helped it release.
So that's what you told your husband. I get
Look, if somebody's spitting that color, go to the hospital.
it. Oh, wow. Wow. If somebody's spitting that color, there's an urban dictionary in there somewhere. Spitting that color.
Spitting that color. We'll workshop that one.
Yes. So I gotta ask though, because you were dumb enough to mention this earlier.
Thanks.
If oh, I'm not going to your plumbing issues. We can talk about that another day. I really want to wonder because everybody that actually gives a damn about this show, so us and like three other people, watched the trailer that we put up, the first trailer by now, and saw the crotch shots that we took.
Love crotch shots. Those are so
Yeah, so
good.
what I'm wondering is, what did your mom, who for some reason you told she should go watch
I
this,
didn't know. I didn't tell her. She did it organically.
did your brother tell her?
Maybe I haven't talked to him, but
Okay.
she texts me randomly. Hey, saw your new preview for season 3. Looks great. Please don't pull me into it.
Well, kind of blew that one up, didn't I?
Yeah, yeah.
But she didn't mention the crotch shots at all.
No, no,
No.
no, no. Much to your chagrin.
And just so you're aware, we have to thank somebody. There's a guy by the name of Colin that we work with, only using first names. But you'll hear his voice in that because Colin was the person that was taping it for us. And I did leave a part in there specifically so that you could understand that Colin thought it was absolutely hilarious what we were doing. And somehow he did not laugh through any of
Yeah,
it. He
he
was
was
really, he was the best cameraman we've ever had.
also the only.
Well, there's the two other trailers that people may or may not have seen that we taped. Our cameraman was a
Oh,
chair, and was it a plate? What did we have? Oh no, it was a cup. That's what we
it was
had
a
underneath
cup. It
it.
was like, yeah, it was a
Yes,
mug.
that was. We spent probably about 10 minutes just trying to get that camera angle right.
It is amazing what that hotel had for props, I guess, to prop up the phone, but
Yep.
also amazing what they didn't have.
Which
Like,
was a centered ceiling fan.
that bothered me a lot.
Oh, I know it did. That's
It was
the
8, like, in thus the only ceiling fan, they couldn't center it on the bed. They went slightly, if you're facing the bed, like, looking at the bed, a little to the left, closer to the bathroom. Oh, it drove me nuts.
I don't know how the TV didn't bug you more because the TV looked like it was about to fall off the wall.
Well, I mean, that was on, like, one of those articulating arms, that's all.
Yeah, but it looked like it was ready to fall off at any minute. That would have bugged
It
me much more than the ceiling fan.
I'll be honest, after you said that, I was like, "Shit, the tilt is too far down, and I can't untilt this thing. This TV's kinda fucking heavy."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but I actually didn't put the TV back. I pulled it out further so I could watch it laying in bed because I was watching the Saturday Night Live, 50th anniversary special.
Yeah, I just went to bed because I'm an old man. So
I did not. I did watch it for a bit. Um, Different question and totally random and off topic. So, Blackpink, you know who they are, right?
no, I don't.
Cool. They're, I think, a Korean girl group. Um, Highly recommend. Great music. They're going on world tour. And we had a long conversation last night about where to go see them. I know one song by them. That's it. But it looks like we're going to go to Paris or Barcelona and go see them instead of going to New York or Chicago.
So is this why your husband was hurriedly making arrangements while you were in Charlotte and you were getting the notifications after he made the
Oh,
purchases?
that was something different.
Yeah,
That's
because
totally independent.
you were getting so aggravated because you just knew plans were being made that you were not being considered for those plans.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. I mean, there was like 3 different plans that were made. Oh, you're talking about the high tea
There was the high tea, and then he had you going somewhere else too.
on the cruise.
Oh yeah, the cruise, which we know how much you love cruises.
I can't stand it. I mean, we have, yeah, I guess we talked about it like when I went overseas for that. Yeah,
Yes, when you
and this is
abandoned the show to go on vacation.
I raise you barely any Wi-Fi in the Adriatic.
And that you were in the Adriatic because
We I was on a cruise.
on vacation,
Yeah, I actually
ditching the
took a
show,
I actually
ditching
took
the
a
show,
vacation. I actually took a vacation.
ditching the show. Yes.
Yeah, how many
How many
vacations?
vacations? That was weird. Let's not do that again.
Nope, that was
That was
weird.
that was not one voice. That was two voices in perfect unison. Just in case
Yeah,
this doesn't come through in the recording, the
that
reason
was
the shocked looks on our faces were because we both said that, and it came out almost like it was in perfect harmony
yeah,
somehow,
and we are completely in different places in the world.
and with completely different voice types. So that was purely unintentional.
Yeah. This show today is sponsored by Yoju Soju, the
No, it's
soju
not.
cocktail made
No,
with
it's
real
not.
yogurt,
No, it's not.
7%
It's not
alcohol
made
by
with real
volume.
yogurt, nor are they sponsoring
It
us.
is
Don't get
it's made with real yogurt. It says it right
no.
there. Real
It
yogurt.
okay. So because they put it on the can and you bought it for 79 cents from Timu, it has to be real
Oh,
yogurt.
I wish this was 79 cents. It was like a 12 pack for like 26 bucks.
So what you're saying is that can right there cost you $2
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
what you could have
close.
gotten from Chobani for 99 cents.
Chobani is not alcoholic, thank you.
Oh, so now you care so little about the show, you're getting drunk during it. I
I'm
get it.
having one.
I don't know how big of a lush you are.
Yes, you
You did
do.
escape to the 25th floor without me because, in your opinion, I was not deserving of going up there while you were hammered. I get it.
I wasn't hammered. I just
Tell
had
you the next
margarita.
morning. I saw you next
I,
morning. You weren't queasy, but you weren't exactly the happiest camper in the world either.
I took my Korean hangover pills. Okay,
Yeah.
they protect my liver and my baby little face.
Okay. Wow. So I don't know if you noticed, but earlier today I showed you a feature in Facebook that still works that I don't think most
Yeah,
people know
that.
about.
Oh my God! You've set off a firestorm. So what he's talking about is from what 1999 or whenever Facebook first came out, of being able to poke someone. And I didn't even know that feature still existed until he poked me.
Yes.
Uh,
So realize I've been when I found out my daughter actually poked me because she found it somewhere on a YouTube video and thought, yes, I have to start this as a war with my father. And I didn't take it as, oh, I needed to start a war with her. I decided I needed to start a war with everybody. So I've been poking everybody. I just hadn't gotten down to the R's yet. And it's funny because you're going to know the initials JB. Um, we've been having a poking war for about a week and a
no
half now.
way. That's awesome.
Yes. So there is
Uh,
a way to poke. I don't know how to get to it because the only way I can get to it is the notification that somebody poked me back. Uh,
wait, did he start it?
no, I started it with him.
Oh,
But literally, if I poke him, like no more than 30 seconds later, he's poking me back. Like I swear he's so bored now that that's all he's got to do is sit on Facebook and wait
hold
for people
on.
to poke him. Are you
Hold on.
you're
I'm gonna
gonna
do
do it to
this
him, aren't
right
you?
now. I'm gonna do it right now.
I owe him. I owe him one too. Let's see who gets their poke first.
Oh, this is
Okay,
so
on three.
good.
You ready?
Yeah.
One,
One,
two,
two,
three.
three.
Okay,
All
we'll
right.
see how long it takes. Because he
Oh,
last poked me 1 hour ago.
oh, this makes me so happy.
The funny part is now you can just poke random people that you know
Well,
that they've forgotten that this existed and
no,
they're gonna have
so
no idea.
I did this, and my buddy texts me immediately after I did it. He's like, "You are the first person to poke me in 8 literal years."
I'm still waiting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He might have been bored of the
Wait,
pokes, but
what's the most pokes that you've ever had with someone? It should
uh,
be the very top one.
26.
Oh, I got you beat.
Oh, no, no, nobody has my wife beat. My wife and one of her friends from high school have about 2,600 pokes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that I have 553 is mine.
Okay. I don't use Facebook that much anymore. This poking thing has been the majority of the fun that I had. Oh, I owe you a poke back there.
Only
Um,
reason I've been using Facebook lately, aside from this, is the my sister's dog uh trying to win the best dog of the year award or whatever.
oh, you just poked me right back. This is going to end up in a war. This will end up in a war. This,
Obviously,
uh,
it's not going to end well.
well, the problem is that it's going to turn into what's the worst time of day to poke somebody. I'm going to set an alarm for like 3:37 in your time in the morning and just if you poke, then leave the screen, then come back. Sometimes it will let you poke again with without the other person poking you back.
I mean, I guess there's no such thing as a three-way poke. They should really get on that.
Oh, I already had to explain to my wife how I was in a three-way poke fight. I really don't want to have that explanation come up again. Because between you, JB, and me, this is going to end poorly. It's just going to end poorly. He's disappointing us right now, though.
Yeah, in real time, this is very disappointing. I was
Yes.
expecting better. I
Yeah.
mean, I wish I could delete certain people that poked me. Like that's the other thing too, is like it's showing me I'm friends with people that I'm like, oh wait, I don't like this person.
MAGA, MAGA, MAGA,
Did-
MAGA,
it-
MAGA. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
So,
I had that conversation with someone today, at the end of the day about just like it was my really close friend group of just like they stopped talking to their actual entire family. So it's like,
Jeez.
golly, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, we're close to that time, and JB's not coming through like I expected him to.
no, and it's the only thing I want to talk about with Facebook specifically. So I did spend a little bit of time on it after you poked me earlier. Because
That sounded bad. Just so you're
yeah,
aware, that sounded
yeah,
very,
yeah.
very bad.
But I haven't been on Facebook really a lot. Like I haven't just explored the algorithm or scrolled through, and I was doing so. And I don't know what the algorithm is, and I don't know if it's like this for you, but I am so heavily weighted on just crazy political ads and random videos of I'm gonna guess Middle East. I don't know, but Middle Eastern like folklore.
That's not what I get. I went through a little phase where I decided Mark Zuckerberg was not my friend anymore. And I decided that since he got rid of his content moderation, I was
Oh
going
yeah.
to test what I was going to do with that. And what it turned into was me reporting every single ad or profile page that wasn't a friend of mine that came up, reporting them for terrorism. And literally, I spent about a week just reporting every single ad that I could get for terrorism. It got to be a lot of button pushes. So now I just plain block because I got tired of the button pushes and they weren't really doing anything. But Fox
Fair.
News came up today when I was going to hit my notifications to go start the poke war, and I reported them for terrorism.
But I literally don't know where the poke lives
I don't
in
either.
like
It's
in the app.
you
Like
you're gonna have to search for it. That's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna
yeah, but
have to.
I want to find it organically, like going through and just like find the poke category. Like it's got to be there somewhere.
I don't know. I don't know. All I know is while we're sitting here talking, we're both looking at our phone, waiting for the poke now button to come back up so that we can poke each other. Literally, the war is going on as we speak. So we have to get back to our poke war. The show is not worth it anymore.
Yeah,
So
it's
Ryan,
just a poke war.
I think it's time to wrap this baby up.
That's fair. But I do want to thank everyone for joining us for another episode of Repressed Humor Issues. We'd like to actually know, have you ever been in a poke war in 2025? Email us
Poke.
at repressedhumorissues@gmail.com. It's the
Please,
dumbest thing.
please poke Ryan. Oh, he poked me back already. Poke Ryan. Poke Ryan. If you're listening to this, all of our Swedish friends, I know you have him on Facebook. I've kept you off of Facebook for this exact moment. Please poke Ryan. Oh, gotta poke you back. Okay.
But
Oh, poke you back.
let,
We will give you a running tally of the
it's
poke
so
war next week.
so
Poke you back.
stupid. Oh, so dumb.
Okay, so what time is it, Ryan? Poke you back. What I want to do is it's going to be like Pavlov's dog. Every single time I say poke you back, you're going to realize that you got to go onto Facebook. Ryan's lost it. Poke you back. Ryan's lost it.
Just think a moment.
What Ryan just said, for those of you that missed it, and I'm waiting for him to poke you back. What Ryan just said is it's time for the moment of Zen. Well, I am going to say thank you for watching this total derail of an episode that just went to shit in the last like minute and a half. Poke you back. And here's your moment of Zen.
What's the difference between 3 cocks and a joke?
What?
Abby can't take a joke.
I'm on your team.
Oh, different Abby.
Yeah, you got no
What's going on with my hair? What's going on with my hair?
How do I always manage to pick up exactly the right time to start the recording?
Shit.
Always. You always manage to do something idiotic.
I'm actually embarrassed right now.
Yeah, I can tell. The amount of red on your face is nothing compared to the amount of red on your face when this goes into the end of this episode.